boys, welcome back to another vanilla base design. This is a quad man base design made for defending onlines. It's made up of 3 TCs with a 2x1 core in the middle, and it's got a really low upkeep. We're going to jump into the tour, and then from there I'm going to show you guys how to build it. Welcome to the inside of the base. Our airlock consists of 2 windows and a single door, plus some garage door spam to make the door path expensive. The base is completely symmetrical, so you can go either left or right. Inside here we have 2 bedrooms on the outside. There's a room for boxes and 1 bed, or 2 beds. From here we can see all the peaks that we would have on a raider who's inside your base. Coming along to the side, it's completely the same. 2 more bedrooms, room for boxes, and again these are all the peaks we would have on a raider. I'm sure at this point you're most likely wondering where's the door into core, and it's actually a bunker that you open with a roof. This is how we enter our base. You can leave this open for most of the time during the day, just shut out when you go off. I decided to keep the first floor mainly just bags and workbenches, don't keep anything too valuable down here. Up to the second floor though is where all the loot is. It's a pretty nice loot room in here, plenty of box space, and the vending machines are useful as honeycombing, so if anyone comes from the outside, they'll need to break this wall here, destroying the vending machine, and then they will lose loot. You can put your windows on, and there's some garage doors and armored doors in here to make this loot room pretty hard to get to. Heading up the way, up the ladder hatch we get to our bedroom floor. This is where all the beds are kept, and it's also your entrance to the peaks. 2 turrets here that defend the beds when the doors are open, and they stop raiders from coming in here. If we jump over the turret, we've got these peaks here which allow us to look into the beds, and also down along the peak floor. Plus there's a multi-TC gap here that we can also use. Moving along here, more peak downs. You can't get through these, by the way, none of these peak downs are ladderable through. And another good thing about these peaks is they're also grenade toss. So you can stand here in safety and throw grenades, bounce them off the ramp, and they head down to the peaks floor, and you can sit here and just spam grenades off either ramp, and they're going to cause a lot of trouble and you can't even be shot at. Another cool thing about the roof peaks are they're anti-incen, so if any incen rockets are fired up here, the flames are going to roll back down towards the raider. If we take one of the single doors in peaks, we can go towards shooting floor. The shooting floor consists of some single door peaks, windows, and some double door peaks. The good thing about this peak down here is you can slip out without anyone hearing you open the door. However, if a raider tries to ladder up, they won't be able to ladder up through this gap. This shooting floor provides heli peaks and a 360-degree view all the way around your base. Heading back through the peak downs, I'll show you what to do when you lose the shooting floor in a raid. From inside the peak downs you can shut these doors. What this does is separate up the shooting floor, stopping raiders from getting any deeper. Finally, if you've lost the shooting floor and the peak downs, you can still peek down on raiders from inside the core. These gaps here allow you to see some of the peak downs, the bunker entrance, and you can fire rockets through here. Heading up the way we get to a spare room. In here I wasn't really sure what to put, so I just put research, repair, and there's space for a fridge and a large battery, so you can put all your electricables up here. Finally, up one more time and we get to the minicopter garage. You can store 1 minicopter in here, and you also have an airlock to get out onto the roof. And finally, I want to address there are externals with this base that you would need to place, and I'm going to link some in the description that I think you guys should use. One last thing, if you come to the opposite side of this bunker, place another roof tile on this foundation, and you can find your TC, hidden away in the honeycombing. TC placement here is great for a top down, it's most likely never going to get discovered. However, there's a chance if they blow through this wall or this wall they could find TC when pummeling through the side. So this base actually comes along with a starter unit. It's super simple to make and it'll be nice to live out of before you're ready to build the big one. You just start off with some doors. You'll need to soft side out this wall later, but it's just one wooden wall to soft side. Couple more doors and you're into the core. Got room for bags, boxes, your TC, some furnaces, and a couple more small boxes. Upkeep for this little one, really low. And then you've got a jump up and some roof access. And that's the whole starter base. I'll show you guys how to build that and then we'll get onto the big one. We're going to start the base off with 2 squares. Add a triangle on each side that you can place a triangle on. Just like this. This one over here is going to be your TC. Don't put anything here because it's going to be a wall later on, so just leave that open. Upgrade the rest of it to stone. This triangle is your jump up. You can wall this triangle off. You can wall in this triangle. Add a wall here. 2 doors. Another frame and a wall. Next you can add in your roofs. Finally, one more wall. And a roof over the TC. We're going to do a foundation here. And then a door frame. If you upgrade the frame and just demolish the twig. And you can add a stone floor over here. In case people can crouch underneath, add a barricade. Or you can do your foundations a little bit lower. Just like that. Next we're going to build our chute. Come to the top of the base. 2 walls and a frame. And a floor to finish it off. That's the starter unit complete for this base. Remember, this triangle here is going to be our TC whenever we get around to moving it. So just finish it off like this and leave a gap because we're going to put a window here. But we don't want to spoil it yet before we've walled it in. Once you've done a little bit of farming and you're ready to start building the big version, go ahead and come inside and break your TC. Just shotgun it out or use some flame arrows. Once you've broken your TC, you can now move it to the outside spot over here. That's if you want it in the secret place. If not, put it wherever you think TC should go. Go ahead and add a window frame, upgrade it to stone, window, and a brazier. Next you're going to want to start working on the external TC because we need to cover this up as soon as possible before people see. Go ahead and place a triangle and then build away with 8 squares. Add a triangle in the end. Delete the squares. Now build back with triangle half moons. Stop when you're about a square away and place a square. Add a triangle on either side. Upgrade this stuff to metal. And delete the rest. I'm going to link in the description a couple of external TC designs that you can use. However, for just now, I'm just going to build away until I lose building privilege and add a TC. Super basic external TC design, however I've linked some in the description that you guys can use. Before we repeat these steps on the other side, we're going to add a wall here. Upgrade it to metal. And a floor above. And we want our gap in between the wall like this. And we're going to upgrade this to metal too. Okay, go ahead and do that on the other side as well with your external TC. Keep in mind you'll need to soft side your door and break your barricade. Exactly the same thing on the other side, however just leave this wall out for just now because we don't want to give away the bunker. Next we're going to finish off the footprints, so if you come to one of these sides here and use this triangle to make a hexagon on the ground. Just like that, go ahead and upgrade this triangle to metal and this triangle. The rest of these triangles can be stone. Go ahead and mimic that on the other side. Finally, we're going to place a square to cover up the gap. Make your way over to where your external TC is and make sure you build off of this. Add 2 triangles and a square. Upgrade this square to stone. And if all the walls are blue, then you've placed it correctly. However, you may have accidentally done it from this side and that would not work, so just make sure you build it off of the external TC. So once you've placed this square to cover up the gap, you can do that to the other 3 missing gaps. Now the base should look like this. Double check that all your walls placed before you upgrade them. Next we're going to start working on one of our entrances. Make your way over to one of the hexagons and start there. Once you're down here, add a door in the middle and 2 window frames. You can upgrade these to stone. And then just spam door frames all the way along. Now just spam double door frames all the way along. You can upgrade all of these to stone. Add in your floors and upgrade accordingly. Go ahead and repeat these steps on the other side. Next we're going to raise up the rest of the shell to the same height. For starters, you can wall in your squares. Upgrade all this to stone and add a floor. And you can repeat that on the other 3 squares. Next up, face one of your external TCs and place a metal wall in the middle. And a stone at either side. Do that to this side as well. Next I'm going to upgrade everything to its final build cost, and from here we'll be building in its final form. Essentially, enter the core and upgrade everything that's not a frame to metal. Once everything's metal, you can add a wall here and here. These can be metal as well. Now we can place in our wall here, upgrade to metal, and you can see there's a gap between the wall and the triangle. In order to cover up the gaps, we're going to want to metal up the frames inside, and we want to see this kind of overlap over. So you can see if you flip the frame, then there is a gap, and then if you flip it back, then the gap covers up. So just make sure you've placed your frames the proper way, rotate them so that there's an overlap so you can't see inside, and that's your bunker finished. To get in and out of your bunker, you just need to place a roof, and it can open up from either side. So whatever side you want to enter from, you can. Next we're going to build the exterior bedrooms on the peaked ends. Make your way over to one of these squares, wall it in, upgrade to stone, and add a door frame. Stone it up and add a roof. And now you have space for beds, boxes, anything you'd like to put in here. Go ahead and repeat those steps on the other squares all the way along the base. Now we can raise up the rest of the shell to the same level. Make your way over to the 3 triangles next to core and add 2 metal walls. Do the same on the other side, and then just raise this side up the same as it already is. Next we're going to start working on our loot room on the 2nd floor. Go ahead and wall in the triangles. Upgrade these to metal. Give yourself a half wall and a shelf. Remove the half wall and upgrade the shelf. Give it a ceiling, and once you've placed in your boxes, you can add a window frame. Do that on the other side. Once your loot rooms are made, you can wall in the rest of the core as I do. Making sure you leave out a wall on this side and a wall on this side. The triangle diagonally opposite your door is your jump up. Add a ladder hatch and add ceilings everywhere else. Now we're going to raise up our shell one more level. This time don't include the squares. You can upgrade this entire level to metal. This is what the base looks like so far, just in case you need to see it from the outside. Next we're going to finish off our bunkers. If you come across here, before we continue we need to fill in the gaps on this level. So if you grab a roof triangle and place it on here, make sure you're placing it onto the triangle and not the wall, so you can see the difference here, and we want it like this. Just to make sure you've done it right, try and open your bunker, and if it opens then you've done fine. If not, you need to change that. Same on the other side, make sure you're clipping it into the right one, so not on the wall but on the triangle. You don't need to, but I'd recommend you upgrade these to armored because they get in the way of the ladder hatch. Next we're going to place some of the frames to allow us to make our peak downs. Come in between the triangle and add a frame coming off of here in the middle. Upgrade to metal and do the same on the other side. Next we need to place in a couple more frames for peak downs, so we're going to come to the left of this one here and try and clip it on here, and we'd like a gap right in front of our feet like this, and you can upgrade that to metal as well. Do the same on this side, and we want a gap close to us, just like that. Make sure you place that properly or else it's not going to work, and then do the same on the other side. Next we can place in our triangles. Make sure you clip your triangle here so that we have a gap down here. Do that on the other side as well. Next, make your way over to the 3 triangles over here and place in 2 window frames. You can upgrade these to stone. Add in 2 half walls and 2 triangles. Give it a frame and upgrade to stone. Repeat that on the other side. Once again, we can raise up the core to the same height. Make sure you clip the middle wall onto the frame and not the triangle. This gives us one more gap that we can use to defend. Wall in your ladder hatch and give it a door. And wall in your other ladder hatch and give it a door as well. Just like that. Now add in door frames on the gaps. Upgrade all these door frames to stone. and give your bedroom floor some ceilings. And this is what the base looks like from above. Next we're going to start building our shooting floor, so if you make your way over to your bedrooms and place a square on top of them, go ahead and do that along the other bedrooms, just like this, and upgrade that to metal. Next we're going to use these squares to place in our roof ramps, just like that. Repeat those steps on the other side. Now if you face your external TC, you're going to place 3 triangles, and fill in the rest of the gaps with triangles. Everything in twig can be upgraded to metal. Next we're going to start working back on the peak downs again. If you look towards your external TC, place a half wall on this frame here, drop down, place a floor, remove the half wall, and upgrade the floor. Go ahead and do that on the other side as well. Next we're going to do the same thing on this side, half wall, floor, remove the half wall. This time do not upgrade this square, just leave it, don't upgrade it. Do that on the left side as well, just like this. Go ahead and repeat that on the other side. This peak down wasn't actually in the tour, but it's a lot better and I recommend you use it. Make your way over to one of your twig squares, and above it, if you place in some stairs, make sure they're as low to the ground as they can be. Then if you come to this side, press R and rotate them until it's facing that way, and you want to see that they ramp up together like that. Go ahead and repeat that on the other ones. And the base should look like this once you've followed those steps. Now go ahead and upgrade all the staircases to metal. Once you've done that, you can shoot out the twig that the bottom stairs are sitting on. Next up, if you once again face your external TC, come to this side and place in 2 window frames. Upgrade these to stone and have the soft side face you. Repeat that step on the other side. Next, if you once again face your external TC and place a door frame and 2 doors, upgrade to stone and repeat on the other side, and then you can wall in the rest of the shooting floor. Next we're going to finish off the rest of the shooting floor. We'll start with our window frames. You won't be able to place a window frame unless this is upgraded to metal, so a stone will block this window, so make sure you upgrade it to metal. Windows along here. Now add in your single door peaks, just like that. Finally, some double door frames on the ramps. Upgrade everything in twig to stone. We can go ahead and add a roof onto our shooting floor, and you can upgrade everything here in twig to stone. Finally, finish off the peaks with a triangle roof on both of these frames. You can upgrade these to metal. Make sure you place these last because they do block a lot of things inside the base. Once you add in your single doors, your double doors, and your embrasures, that'll be your shooting floor finished. And the peak downs are also done as well. This is the new peak here that we added before that wasn't in the tour. It's much better and it just uses this square more efficiently. You've still got all the other ones as well. Once again, we're going to bring up the core to the same height. Go ahead and wall it in. This time upgrade it all to stone. Once again, make your jump up on the opposite side. Wall in this ladder hatch and add a door. And you can use this space however you like, or you can copy what I did in the tour. Give everything a ceiling. Next up we need to finish off this roof. I'd recommend you start by placing triangles all the way around. Next up, place frames on the middle square, making sure there's a gap close to your feet. Just like that. As for the other 2 squares, place frames, making sure there's a gap next to your feet. So it should look like this, all the gaps facing towards this way. And then you can go ahead and upgrade all these to stone. Once you've done that, there should be space for a square inside of these frames. And that's how you cover all the gaps on the roof. Next, make your way over to your jump up and wall it in. Now place window frames, a double door, and 2 single doors. Upgrade all of this to stone. Give it a roof. And you can use this space to store 1 minicopter, and you have an airlock to get outside. To complete the base, we're going to finish it off with some roof slants all the way along. Go ahead and upgrade all this to stone. And once you do that, that's the base completely finished. Go ahead and design the inside however you'd like. And And once again, if you've got any questions for me, you can ask them in the comments, or I've linked the Discord below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Go ahead and leave a like, drop a sub if you can, and I'll see you boys in the next one.